Spiritual arrogance leads to blindness. A story of Narad Muni and Mukh. Once it so happened that Narad Muni, who is the son of Lord Brahma and a great devotee and messenger of Lord Vishnu, was meditating in a cave high up in the mountains for a very long time. Actually, an unusually long time, and because of that, Kamadev, the god of love or Cupid, became suspicious and curious, and thought to himself, "Let me see how deep Narad's meditation really is." He started shooting arrows that transformed into beautiful heavenly ladies, who danced and sang in front of Narada. Narad Muni, however, immersed in his meditation, did not even blink or move an inch, and Kamadev was very impressed with his intense tapas and obvious detachment, and he said, "Indeed, this Narad has conquered lust and anger in a way that surpasses even Lord Shiva." Hearing these words, Narad Muni felt very proud of his achievements, and arrogance began to rise in him. He said, Yes, Shiva is not the only one anymore known for having conquered lust, anger, and such. I better go and inform my Lord Vishnu about my achievements." So he went to Vishnulok, where Vishnu was sitting on Sheshnag with his consort Lakshmi by his side, and said, "Narayan, Narayan! Shiva, whom you praise so much, is not the only one anymore to have conquered Maya, for I have conquered her once and for all." Narayan just sat and smiled and said, "Is that so?" Sometime after this, Narad Muni went on a journey through the universe, when suddenly he spotted a beautiful, shining city that he had never before noticed on his travels through all the worlds. He thought, "How come I have not seen this beautiful, splendid place before? I know every corner of the universe, and yet I must have been blind." He traveled closer until he found a splendid, big palace with a beautiful garden surrounding it. He went down and in the garden, and while he was still looking here and there in amazement due to its beauty, he spotted the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. She was surrounded by her maidservants, and they were playing and dancing in the palace garden. She equaled in beauty and virtues Lakshmi herself, and on further inquiry, Narad found out that she was Shrimati, the daughter of the king who ruled over the beautiful city, and that her Swayamvar was to be held soon, the ceremony where a princess gets to choose her husband. Narada thought to himself, "I must make her mine. Indeed, her beauty is that of Lakshmi. Her husband-to-be must match her splendor. So what should I do? I am just a poor sannyasi. I know, I will ask my Vishnu. He could never refuse if I asked him for something. I, his greatest bhakta. Besides, I have never asked anything from him really." Narad Muni went straight to Vishnulok, and standing before his Lord with his hands folded, he said, "My dear Lord Vishnu, I have been a bachelor for too long, and my heart yearns for companionship and marriage. There is this beautiful girl I want to make mine, but in order to get her, I need something from you." "Is that so, Narad Muni?" said Vishnu. "Well, I am very happy for you that you want to get married. But how could I help you in this?" Narad Muni said, "My lord, in order to make her gallant me, I need to look like you. So please grant me Harimukh, a face like that of Hari, so I may win her hand." "Are you sure? Well, so be it," said Narayan, and Narad Muni left in high spirits. He traveled towards the beautiful shining city, and on the way there he noticed how the other devatas and devis looked at him strangely, but he did not think anything of it. They must not recognize me now that I look as beautiful and splendid as my Lord Vishnu himself. He arrived at the palace feeling very sure of himself, but all the other kings present looked at him funnily as well. Narad Muni thought, well, they are just jealous. Of course, with my looks, they have already lost. The time came for Sri Devi to come forth and choose her groom and put the garland round his neck. She walked slowly from one king to the next, but did not even look at any of them. Narad thought to himself, what is the need for her to look at any of them? She already saw me, and just to keep with tradition and out of respect, she walks past each and every one of the kings. Thus Narad was lost in his thoughts until Sri Devi had reached him and stood in front of him. Narad Muni bent his head low for her to put the garland on him. Now the moment has come. Put the garland around my neck, darling. But this did not happen. Instead, when she raised her eyes to look at him, a funny smile lit up her face and she quickly walked on. Did she not see my beauty? Is she blinded? That moment, the doors to the royal assembly hall opened, and in came Lord Vishnu himself, and Sri Devi rushed towards him and put her garland round his neck. Narad Muni did not understand anything anymore. How could she have passed him, who was supposed to look just like Narayan himself? While he had these thoughts, suddenly he recognized his image in a big shiny plate that was hanging on the wall, and what he saw threw him off the ground. That was not the face of Narayan himself, but, instead, the face of a monkey, Mukh. How could this have happened? When Narad Muni realized that he had been deceived by Lord Vishnu and been made the laughing-stock by him, he became furious. So, Vishnu, you are said to be the most humble one, the most merciful and giving one, but you are in fact the most terrible and selfish one. Everything you must have for yourself, to the point where you trick me to snatch away the girl I fell in love with. How terrible you are! I will curse you, so that you too, in your next incarnation, will have to suffer separation from your wife, and you will have to accept the help of a monkey to find her. Vishnu, on hearing Narad's curse, smiled at him compassionately and said, Narad, I will accept your curse, for I accept anything my devotees give me. But understand that I arranged all of this for your higher good, and to rid you of your spiritual pride. Had you not said proudly how you had conquered lust and anger? Had you not said all this, feeling superior to my dear Bhakta, Lord Shiva? Hearing this, Narad Muni remembered everything, and realized his mistake in being so proud of his spiritual achievements, how he was so blinded by love, and that Narayan indeed never fails in breaking the pride and arrogance of his devotees. The curse, however, could not be taken back, and it was in Lord Vishnu's incarnation as Lord Rama, where he had to suffer separation from his consort Sita, and accept the help of the monkey army. And even more, he made Hanuman his greatest devotee. Sri Lakshmi Narayan Bhagavan ki Jai.